And we are live. Welcome to the NBA Strategy Show, Friday, December 12th. Wow, is it really 13 days till Christmas? I'm not confident I knew that, or at least I'm not confident that I realized it, but that's fine. Christmas is today because we've got multiple games on the slate, 6 in fact, plus a 7th bonus game for today. We've got the Bulls and Hornets at 7. We've got the Hawks and Pistons at 7. We've got the Pacers and Sixers at 7. We've got the Cavs and Wizards. Stop me if you've heard this before, at 7. Then we get Jazz Grizz at 8, Nets Mavs at 8:30. Late Night Hammer is the only, well, I shouldn't say that. It's there's only 2 good games. One of them isn't on the DraftKings slate. That's Minnesota and the Warriors, and good is relative for that one. But yeah, we're going to break it all down. It's nice to have more than a 2-gamer or a 4-gamer today. We had some fun yesterday, unrelated to the NBA, but this guy got the first touchdown yesterday. That was fun. So I get whatever bonus bet FanDuel throws my way, hoping it's like, I don't know, $250. Be nice. Hit my prize picks card yesterday, 5-0. Robert Williams not playing was on him being on the card would have been the 6th that we were looking for, but with him not playing, we ended up going 5-0. I got one into the top 100 of the 4-point play. Cam Johnson let me down a bit. Very happy with the performance out of Ivica Zubac, though. He was pretty good. I wasn't mad about it, at least. But for now, we're here to break it down. Shout out Neat Clifford and his 5 DK points. I didn't like it. Hold on. I was not a fan. That one went my way, I guess. Keon Ellis had 5 stocks, 30 fantasy points. Oh, well, let's walk through this one. Fell for the Dwap. Oh, I didn't even look to see what he played. Guess I could do that now. Reith played 13 minutes. Interesting. That's crazy, man. That's so crazy. I didn't see 13 coming, that's for sure. All right, let's get to today's slate. We'll bounce back and forth between the boom bust information at Stokastic and what I've got on the screen. First one up, though. Bulls Hornets. And if I didn't say it, hit that like button if you haven't done it yet. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. So lots of injury news for the Bulls, but they're all probable. Kobe White's probable. Okoro is probable. Trey Jones is probable. Zach Collins is probable. Jalen Smith is probable. No Ayo Dosunmu for today in terms of guys that actually matter. On the Hornets side, they're missing everybody. So Q tag right now on Moussa Diabate. We'll start there. Colin Sexton's out. LaMelo is out. Trey Mann is out. Josh Green is back. We haven't seen him yet so far this year. We're looking at a starting lineup of KJ Simpson, Con Knipple, Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, and Ryan Kalkbrenner. But they're shorthanded. Realistically, they're going to have 10 guys in some way. Whether Diabate is in or out, he just becomes Mason Plumlee. But these dudes are shorthanded. So as I pull up the boom bust tool, and we look at, Chicago and Charlotte, we do have a ton of ownership coming into this game at this point. KJ Simpson is 40% owned. That's not all that surprising. He's 4,500 today. Brandon Miller is 40% owned. 6,700, small forward eligible, No LaMelo. 30% ownership to Miles Bridges. 25 to Con Knipple. Hell, 10 to Ryan Kalkbrenner. All of the ownership in this game is going to the Charlotte side. And you get like assorted 10s to Kobe White, to Trey Jones, to Josh Giddey. But that is quite a bit of ownership here coming into the Charlotte side. And I get it. Matchup's great. Shorthanded team. Extra minutes at lower salaries. I like every piece of this. I don't trust it in any way. In fact, I like anti-trust it. But like if KJ Simpson's going to play close to 30 minutes, yeah, he's 4,500. That's a pretty nice value option. He's a 6x guy just right out of the gate. I mean, I don't know how many minutes Brandon Miller can realistically play, but we got him in for 29 and it feels like 32 or 33 is in the cards. He already looks like a great value. Miles Bridges just gets to do more with no LaMelo around. Con Knipple gets to do more with no LaMelo around. Already plays big minutes. Like the Kalkbrenner Diabate stuff isn't fun, but they're both playable on a 6-gamer. I mean, if you're asking me, I like Brandon Miller the most just because of the position. But like that guy has just been so in and out that it's hard to say. It was a great spot for Charlotte. Like, really darn good for this Hornets team. Give me 1 second here. Okay, that worked like I thought it would. Okay, sweet. Thought I was missing something. I'm not. We're back. You never know. Is Simpson MPE? No, just point guard. Just point guard. MPE would be a problem here. But yeah, we want to keep an eye out on the Moussa Diabate news because if he happens to be out, Mason Plumlee will get backup center run. He'll be 3,500. That will matter in some way. It at least makes us talk about his name. Throat. All right. I don't really have anything else to add here. We don't have any like crazy injury news to wait on other than the Diabate piece. And because Charlotte's shorthanded, it's just like any starter is a priority. That's the takeaway to start the day. Now we actually get a good game for the most part. Atlanta Hawks at the Detroit Pistons. The Pistons are 7.5-point favorites here. Unsurprisingly, Kristaps Porzingis not going to be available for this one. Still no Trae Young. But otherwise, this is going to be what we're used to. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Dyson Daniels, Zachary Risache, Jalen Johnson, and Onyeka Okongwu. We've been seeing Vit Krejci and Luke Kennard just be the bench dudes. And then it's kind of scattered after that. On the Pistons side, these guys are getting too healthy. Everybody that plays is available, and that is making it kind of rough. Like, for the most part, Danish Jenkins, Marcus Sasser, you're just not going to see those guys when they're at full strength, and there's nobody on the injury report today. So, Cade, Duncan Robinson, Asar, Tobias Harris, Jalen Duren, you're going to get some combination of LeVert, Stewart, Ivy, Holland, Jenkins, and Green. Pretty difficult to ever get to any of these Pistons bench dudes when they're going to be at full strength. There's just no ability to trust that. So if we hop into the boom bust, we've got about 25% ownership coming into Jalen Johnson, 10,600. Now we have some positive leverage here. I don't love this. In fact, I would say I probably hate it. And it's not that, like, he's not good. But 10-6 in this matchup and getting this ownership, like, Cade Cunningham is half the ownership right now of Jalen Johnson. Now, I don't like that, but I mean, these guys have the same ceiling. One's 39% optimal, one's 8%. That's scary too. And that'll all balance out at least a little bit as we go through the day, but to me, that's just too much for Jalen Johnson. That's an amount of ownership that I don't expect to match. I could be wrong, but that's just how I see it to start the day. That's too much. It's a bad matchup against Detroit. They got legitimate big bodies that can defend the rim, and Jalen Johnson can't shoot. So, like, it is a bit of an interesting matchup for him because he's going to meet a lot of resistance trying to get to the places he wants to be. But yeah, just like looking at this data, I'm more interested in Cade by default than I am in Jalen Johnson. Nobody else is getting any real love, though. 10% ownership for Duren, Asar, Tobias. I can make a case for Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I think you can make a case for Vit Krejci, even though he's a terrible per-minute dude, just because of the shooting guard small forward eligibility. But what we're paying attention to here is, 1, it's a good game. 2, the ownership is to the 2 stars in Jalen Johnson and Cade Cunningham. 2 stars that I have like a very interesting relationship with in terms of their current abilities. It's weird. It's very weird. But yeah, I want more Cade here. Assuming this ownership holds. The third game is the Pacers and the Sixers. Yay. Pacers in Philly. Philly, 7.5-point favorites. We're looking at the starting lineup of the Pacers of Nembhard, Ethan Thompson, Benedict Mathurin, Pascal Siakam, Jay Huff. Quentin Jackson is questionable. Still no Aaron Nesmith. And I should refresh this, but Jeremiah Robinson Earl is no longer on the Pacers. In fact, I'll hit that now and see if it updates properly. There's a decent chance I shouldn't have done that right now, but whatever. On the Philly side, Tyrese Maxey is probable. Joel Embiid is probable. Jared McCain is available. The only people out for Philly are Trendon Watford and Kelly Oubre. All right, let's see. Did that update and take him away? Huzzah! Goodbye, Jeremiah Robinson Earl. I have removed you with the click of a button. Poof. You're now a free agent. All right, let's look at Pacers and Sixers. It feels weird to talk about a bunch of games today. Like, the scope of the slate is so different than what we've seen over the past week. And it's weird. Like, I can feel my mouth not understanding the words. Joel Embiid, 7,100. 25% owned. And I like it. I can't lie. That's not surprising to me at all. Look, I like Jay Huff, but he's not good defensively. He can block shots, but defensively he just kind of stinks. If Joel Embiid's only 7,100, and realistically he can get to 30, 31 minutes, Joel Embiid is definitely the best guy here. Paul George at 6,100 doesn't look much worse, though. Now, we hate it from an optimal perspective. We got him about -8 leverage. 17% owned, though. The 3 highest owned guys in the game are Embiid, George, and Maxey. But yeah, I'm looking at Embiid as the priority. I have a hard time wanting to get to a ton of Maxey at 10-1, knowing that I could just play Cade at comparable ownership and not have Joel Embiid and Paul George on the floor. In theory, Ethan Thompson is like a name you can click on for value that won't feel good, like at all. I don't want a $7,200 Mathurin grind. Like Siakam seems tough. Realistically, my focus is on two things and two things only in the Sixers-Pacers game. It's Joel Embiid and Paul George, just like we all drew it up, just like Philly drew it up. Oh, I finished my coffee. That's a sad moment in this show. See, in a couple of years, I'll just be able to be like, hey, robot person, bring me my coffee. God, what an amazing time that's going to be. I hope I don't die first. That would suck. Like the moment life is awesome and we fixed everything. We just didn't fix that. I didn't get the memo that day. The idea of a little robot butler dude bringing me a coffee right now. I can't wait. I can't wait. Technology's the shit. Next game. Actually, yeah, next game. Josh will have a Sydney Sweeney robot. That's a different kind of robot, Steven. I don't need that one to bring me coffee. Yeah, those are different. Those are different. Yeah, that's fun. All right, let's hit this next one. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, legitimately, I'm a little mad that like that's not going to be something that ever happens for me. Mostly from my life. Cuz like 22-year-old Josh would have had fun. But like when that becomes real and they're like $500, I can't let it walk in the front door and just be like, "Hey, wife, we keep her in the closet." Oh, boy. Cleveland Cavaliers. 14.5-point favorites in Washington. Taking on the Wizards, 243 total. Looking at a starting lineup of Garland, Mitchell, Tyson, Hunter, Mobley. No Jared Allen still. No Strus, no Merrill, no Nance. But this is a real Cavs team. Like, I've got them favored by 17 type real Cavs team. Now, the Wizards are a real pain in the ass. Sarr still out. Koulibaly out. Middleton out. Corey Kispert out. Malachi Branham questionable. We're looking at a starting lineup of Bub Carrington, CJ McCollum, Justin Champagnie, Keyshawn George, Marvin Bagley. Yeah, fun. So this one is obviously awesome for Cleveland. Darius Garland at 6,400 looks amazing. He's 30-something% owned, 40% optimal. Donovan Mitchell at 9,800 looks great, just scary here, but 27% owned. Evan Mobley, 8,700, power forward center, 20% owned. I undoubtedly want to have one of those three names in everything I'm doing today. In a matchup against the Wizards, I need at least one of those Cleveland guys everywhere. Because this is the best matchup that exists in the league. And it's really not even close, especially with Sarr out. That makes it even more ridiculous. We've got a Wizards team fourth in pace. They're the worst defense by 2 full points. So, as bad as it gets defensively, and you get as many shots as you want to take. Not to mention, they allow a ton of shots at the rim, and the only guy that's going to stop you from shooting at the rim isn't playing, because it's certainly not Marvin Bagley. Whether it's Darius Garland getting to the rack, Donovan Mitchell getting to the rack, or Evan Mobley getting to the rack, They're going to do that whenever they want. Now, as I look at it here, I think Garland is the easiest one to get just because of his price. Realistically, you feel the best about Mobley because of the MPE, the more manageable price tag compared to Donovan Mitchell. And there's always just like, there's going to be a lot of guards on Mitchell's island in that price tier. I mean, we've talked about Cade, we've talked about Giddey. Like, we have those sort of options at guard usually. I like the flexibility a bit more for Mobley. So I would rank it Garland, Mobley, Mitchell, but I don't want that to sound like I care. Like, I want all of them. And then, you know, it's not like I have any issue getting to Jalen Tyson, but he's 6,100. That's a tough click now. I mean, if, like, DeAndre Hunter is cheaper than Jalen Tyson. Think about that. Now, for Washington, I'm willing to roll the dice on Marvin Bagley at 4,900. Champagne at 4,400's like the kind of value you hope goes away. I even think rolling the dice on a Vucevic is a viable outcome for today. But the takeaway is clear. It is all things Cleveland. Because that's what, it doesn't matter what the game situation is. Whoever plays Washington is probably is probably going to look like a chalk team. Remember when the Kings took Bagley over Luka and Trey? I mean, it was a mistake over Luka. I don't call it a mistake over Trey. Like, it's a mistake now, but at the time, I would have rather had, most people would rather have Bagley than Trey. Luka, I was screaming that from the rooftops from the jump. But yeah, we don't want to, we can't slander Marvin Bagley here. We can't be positive that the 6-foot guard is really going to come in here and run above average offenses. There's a lot of Trae Youngs out there. But Luka, that one was next level stupid no matter what. So dumb. So dumb. You know what's not dumb? Let's have this conversation. Guys, you need to download the Tails app. I know I talk about this every day. I'm going to tell you why, though, now, for real. So here's what you missed yesterday just from me. And this is just me. There's 200 more people on here. And again, it's free. So download the app. The link's in the description. Yesterday, the first thing that I posted out of the day was a 6-pick prize picks card. It didn't go to Twitter. The only place that it went to was Tails. If you tailed that card, you went 5-0. You 10x'd your money. Apologies for not getting the 6th pick, but Robert Williams didn't play. The touchdown jackpot on FanDuel, where an anytime touchdown bet for the first scorer or the last scorer of the game lets you chop $1 million in bonus bets with whoever else made that bet. I gave out Sean Tucker yesterday. He scored the first touchdown. Last week I gave out Ryan Flournoy. He scored in the fourth quarter. We had a shot. There just happened to be more touchdowns, but it's a late sweat. I'm posting DK contenders there every day, along with updates in the latter afternoon, along with whatever else I see in the sports betting and pick'em realm. And that's just me. That says nothing for Laffy, Ben, Greg, Eric, DK, who you see all the time, Mitch, DFS and Donut, and I'm missing 100 more people that you guys could check out on Tails, and it's not going to cost you a dime. Just download the app. You can follow along in the free picks feed as long as you want. It won't cost you anything. You can follow all of these people and get alerts when they post things directly to your phone. If you find somebody that you've been following, you've been making some money tailing their stuff, and they have a premium package, you can subscribe to them directly. That will be the way that you spend any money on Tails, but not required in any way. What we would love for you guys to do, if you download the app, and you should, leave a rating and a review in the App Store. It's the most important thing that we could ask for right now. We're trying to get to 1,000 ratings for Christmas. And we can do that. We've got 13 days left, and we are knocking on that door. And that's all thanks to you guys downloading it. I think you're going to enjoy it. The worst case scenario here is you download an app and you realize that it really just wasn't for you. It's not going to cost you a dime. That should be reason enough, especially if you're listening to this video right now. Alrighty, we shall keep it moving. Utah and Memphis. So we have just completed the 4 7 o'clock games. We now move to an 8 o'clock Utah start. Jazz are 7.5-point underdogs in Memphis. We're looking at Keontae George, Svi, Ace Bailey, Lauri Markkanen, Yusuf Nurkic. Standard issue stuff here for the Jazz. So that's what we've got lined up right now. The Grizzlies are quite a bit different. If you haven't been paying attention, this part sucks. Zach Edey is hurt. He's going to be out for at least a month. He's been awesome since he got back. I am a big Zach Edey guy, and he has been exceptional. 20% usage, so, dead neutral. 67.5% true shooting. He's shooting 74% at the rim. 98th percentile offensive rebounder, 97th percentile defensive rebounder. He's been blocking shots like an animal as of late. 7.5% block percentage so far this season through 11 games. It's a big time shame that Zach Edey is gone, because this guy is legitimately really good. Really good. And now he's out, and that's going to be a problem for Memphis. Speaking of Memphis, Ja Morant may be back today. He is questionable. He's missed at least 10 straight with a right calf strain. Omax Prosper and Jemai Mashak are both questionable. Here's the interesting thing. Right now, they only have 8 real people. Ja, Omax, Mashak, they're questionable. If all those Q tags are out, Memphis has 8 bodies for today. Assuming Ja plays, that makes you 9, but probably a mildly limited 9. And it's not like Omax and Jemai Mashak get a ton of run one way or the other. You're going to need bodies out. So, Memphis at least a little bit interesting today, given the fact that they're shorthanded. It's a bummer, though, that they're going to be without Edey. But this game is leading us to the chalk of the day, folks. In case you didn't understand where I was leading you with that Zach Edey conversation, Jock Landale will be your starting center for Memphis, we would imagine. He is 3,700 today and currently projected for 70% ownership. Now, do I think it stays 70? No, we'll get news. This will move around. He's going to be in like 50% of lineups today, no matter what. This is just one of those things. He's projected right now for 7x value. That's just tough to dodge. So he is going to look great. And obviously, we don't have the same sort of pay-up options today that we typically do. Cade Cunningham is 10-8, not a center. Jalen Johnson's 10-6, not a center. Maxi's 10-1, not a center. The most expensive center today is either Evan Mobley at 8,700, but you get power forward, or Onyeka Okongwu at 8,200, just center only. So that is what's causing Jock Landale to be even more disproportionately owned, because we don't really have all that much opportunity cost for going to him, because he pairs perfectly with the 9 most expensive guys on today's slate. Santi Aldama's 25% owned. I get it at 5,600 now with Edey gone. Cedric Howard's 20% owned. I get it now with Edey gone. There's just a little bit more oomph to go around. Ace Bailey looks interesting in this matchup. 4,600 small forward eligible. I think that works out pretty well. Kyle Filipowski's just been playing crazy minutes. He's not all that owned, 5,700. Scary a little bit, but no Edey actually makes that better. What does their bench look like today? I think Keontae George is fine. Jalen Wells is fine. 8K Markkanen is fine. I like this game quite a bit. And it's bigger than Jock Landale. There's a lot to go around. And it might look even better for Memphis by the time we get to lock. But we'll see. Ultimately, it's a Jock Landale day. And there's not really much we can do to dodge that. Like, I've got him as I haven't gone through all my rates yet. I've got 4 more games to go, but I have done the first 2. No one's going to be anywhere near Jock Landale today. The final game of the DraftKings slate. I have not, chat, you guys are here. Did FanDuel include the 10 o'clock? You guys will know before I could bother looking. Brooklyn, 7.5 point underdogs in Dallas. 221 total. This game is death for fantasy points. Thank you, EMAC. No Ben Suraf, still no Cam Thomas. You know, it's the same Brooklyn Nets team we get all the time. No other injury news or Q tags. Michael Porter Jr. is available. We know what these guys are doing. But that 221 total sucks. Igor Demon, Terrence Mann, MPJ, Noah Clowney, Nick Claxton, starting lineup. Dallas is a little weirder. Obviously, we got the news that Derek Lively is going to be out for the year. That medical staff should be sued. Clearly no Kyrie. Daniel Gafford is doubtful. We're looking at the starting lineup of Ryan Nembhard, Cooper Flagg, Najee Marshall, PJ Washington, Anthony Davis. But 221 total gets us to this. 25% ownership to an $8,300 Michael Porter Jr. Totally agree. Price looks great. Not a great matchup against Dallas. They've got a lot of defensive talent here, but Michael Porter Jr. is going to take every shot he wants. 25% owned. The next highest owned guy in this game is Anthony Davis at 7. The rest of this game looks awful. Awful. Like, can Anthony Davis smash Brooklyn? Yeah, of course. Do I get excited about playing him at 9,500? No. Claxton, properly priced. Cooper Flagg, properly priced. Day'Ron Sharpe, not today. Brandon Williams? No. Like, what? Ryan Nembhard's 4,800. Nah, I'm good. This one stinks. So this is technically the DraftKings late night hammer. It's the last game. You're not going to have much of it outside of MPJ. And there's not anything here that I want to take a stand on. It's just such a bad game environment. I mean, this game is 6 points lower than Pacers Sixers and more than 10 lower of everything else. It's 22 points behind Cleveland and Washington. It's just really difficult to make that back. Now, the final game of the night, Minnesota, Golden State. This is only on the FanDuel slate. So I'll hop over to the FanDuel piece here and highlight these two teams so you guys can see it. Minnesota, Golden State. This one's kind of interesting too. So let's talk through the logistics of both of these teams. Minnesota, 2.5 point dogs here, actually. Anthony Edwards is questionable. I think starting there with that conversation is something. Mike Conley is out. And it looks like Bones Highland is probably ahead of Rob Dillingham right now. which is a very big conversation for Minnesota. But ultimately, we know what these guys are going to do. If Edwards plays, those 5 guys are going to play a ton, as is Naz Reid. Golden State, I'm not even going to begin to tell you I have an idea of what they're going to do today. So, no Al Horford, no Draymond Green. I don't know who plays because Steph is back. He's missed the last 5. Jonathan Kuminga got a DNP CD last time out. Realistically, Quentin Post and Trace Jackson Davis are going to need to split most of the center minutes. I don't really know who's going to start. Pat Spencer might. Will Richard probably does. I think Guy Santos will get a bunch of time. I don't know what they're going to do with most of these dudes. It's a complete mystery. Is there something good here? Maybe. Do I have any confidence in picking it? Sure don't. Jaden McDaniels is 15% owned on FanDuel. Naz Reid is 15% owned on FanDuel. Curry, Trace Jackson Davis, and Randall are the only other guys above 10. I don't know what to do with Golden State. Other than the fact that Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler will start and play whatever minutes they are allowed to. Every dude after that you could tell me they played anywhere from 10 to 30 and I'd believe it. I just don't know how you confidently go to anything from Golden State. I don't see it. So as a whole on FanDuel, highest owned guy is Brandon Miller at 50-something%. Shooting guard, small forward, 6,500. Jock Landale is second, center only, 4,200, about 40% owned. And then we get into Donovan Mitchell, Santi Aldama, Justin Champagnie, Garland, KJ Simpson. Let's take a look at what the optimal is on both sites, and then we're going to get out of here. We've got plenty to do today. Optimal lineup on DraftKings to start the day. Garland, Coward, Brandon Miller, Jalen Johnson, Joel Embiid, KJ Simpson, Santi Aldama, Jock Landale. And that is not surprising to me at all. The cash rate on this one's going to be 50. Yeah, 53. The optimal lineup on the FanDuel side. Darius Garland, KJ Simpson, Brandon Miller, Cedric Coward, Jalen Johnson, Jaden McDaniels, Santi Aldama, Kyle Filipowski, Joel Embiid. %50 cash rate on the dot. Guys, you got any questions for me? I think we took a pretty good lap through all 7 of these games. There's not a ton of injury news that we're waiting on, which is good. It's mostly little pieces for right now. What are we expecting from Anthony Simons from Boston in the next month and a half? Nothing. Same as we've had until they trade him. Alrighty, folks. That will do it. I know what I'm forgetting. I gotta tell you guys the schedule for the rest of the day. That's silly of me. Schedule for the rest of the day. Do I have that yet? I do. Lofty and Greg on the NFL Strategy Show right after this. Myself and DK on the Deeper Dive at 5. Greg and Eric, live before lock, 6 to 7. Very easy day today to close out the work week. Did my wife have fun at the game last night? Yeah, I think so. They did a drone show at halftime. She seemed to enjoy that. I know she was pretty excited when I got the first touchdown dude right. So, yeah, I think they had a good time. All decked out in their Mike Evans jerseys across the board. Alrighty, guys, I'm going to dip out of here. Thank you for being here. I will see you on the Deeper Dive. Keep your eyes peeled for Prize Picks cards, DraftKings contenders, parlays. Who knows what I'm going to put out today, but there will be a bunch. So follow me on Twitter. Later, everybody.